Welcome back to Motivational Book Insights. Today's topic is Taming Ego, How to Balance Confidence and Humility for Personal Growth. And before we dive in, I want to emphasize that this video is a judgment-free zone. We're not here to criticize, but to explore how managing ego can help us all grow. Have you ever caught yourself needing to be right, even when it wasn't necessary? Or hesitated to admit a mistake because it felt too difficult? You're not alone. Drop a comment with your experience. And if you're new here, hit subscribe for life-changing insights. Let's start with our first topic. What is ego? The root of the problem. Ego is the part of us that craves validation, control, and superiority. It helps boost confidence, but unchecked, it becomes a barrier to personal growth. Managing ego isn't about eliminating it. It's about knowing when it's helpful and when it's holding you back. Now let's talk about how ego affects our daily lives. Ego shows up in small ways. Maybe you avoid apologizing or get defensive when receiving feedback. Ego can damage relationships, make work more stressful, and block our growth. Recognizing these moments is the first step to managing your ego. Let's dive into celebrity stories, critical situations, and ego management. These stories will show how well-known figures handled their egos in key moments and what we can learn from them. First up, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, humility over ego. Dwayne Johnson's journey from the wrestling ring to Hollywood wasn't smooth. Despite his fame as a WWE star, his initial films didn't perform well at the box office. Johnson could have relied on his ego, assuming his fame would be enough. But instead, he embraced humility. He recognized that success in acting required a different skill set, and so he started from scratch, attending acting classes, learning from his failures, and continuously improving his craft. The turning point came when Johnson realized that relying solely on his previous achievements would limit his growth. By choosing humility over ego, he unlocked new levels of success, becoming one of Hollywood's highest paid actors. The lesson here? When faced with failure, don't let ego convince you that you've already mastered it all. Embrace humility, commit to learning, and keep growing. Next, we have Shah Rukh Khan, balancing ego in crisis. Shah Rukh Khan, often called the King of Bollywood, didn't reach his throne without facing setbacks. Early in his career, SRK faced tough criticism for his unconventional choices and acting style. He was often told that he wouldn't succeed in the competitive world of Indian cinema. But instead of letting ego drive him to defend himself or avoid feedback, Khan took it as an opportunity to grow. He listened, adapted, and kept evolving his craft. What's remarkable is how he balanced confidence with humility. While he knew he had the talent, he never let that belief turn into arrogance. Instead, SRK continued to hone his skills, making each failure a stepping stone to greater success. His resilience in the face of criticism teaches us that when ego stays in check, there's room for growth, learning, and ultimately lasting success. Next is Steve Jobs, from ego to empathy. Steve Jobs is celebrated for his visionary leadership, but his journey wasn't without personal growth. In the early days of Apple, Jobs was known for his high expectations and intense perfectionism, which often led to friction with colleagues. His uncompromising attitude eventually led to his ousting from the very company he founded. This could have been a moment for ego to take over, to hold on to anger and resentment. But instead, Jobs used this setback as an opportunity for self-reflection. During his time away from Apple, he developed empathy and a more collaborative approach to leadership. When he returned to Apple years later, he brought with him not just innovation, but a new mindset, one that valued teamwork, creativity, and the input of others. His story is a reminder that even the most driven leaders must balance their vision with empathy to truly succeed. Ego isolates, but empathy fosters connection and growth. Finally, let's look at Nawazuddin Siddiqui, humility in adversity. Nawazuddin's rise to fame is a testament to patience and humility. Coming from a small village in India, he had no connections in Bollywood and struggled for years, working small jobs to support himself. He auditioned countless times, faced rejection after rejection, and often found himself cast in minor roles that barely got noticed. It would have been easy for frustration and ego to take over, to give up or demand recognition for his talent. But Nawazuddin chose a different path. He focused on refining his skills rather than seeking validation. He worked tirelessly, never allowing his setbacks to inflate his ego or embitter him. His breakthrough came through his perseverance, as his humility and dedication were eventually recognized, leading to significant roles and acclaim. His story teaches us that humility in adversity is a powerful tool for long-term success. Ego may demand immediate rewards, but humility ensures sustained growth and recognition. It is time now to talk about practical steps to manage ego in your own life. These steps can help you apply the lessons we've learned. When you feel your ego flaring up, pause, reflect. Before responding to criticism or advice, ask for constructive feedback from those you trust. Listening openly helps you grow. Admitting you're wrong doesn't weaken you. It builds respect and trust. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. It's a path to deeper connections and growth. To make these lessons easier to remember, use the acronym HEAL, H-E-A-L. H, humility. Stay humble in success and failure. Humility allows growth. E, empathy. Empathy helps you connect and lead with understanding. A, admit mistakes. Admitting mistakes is a sign of maturity and builds trust. L, learn continuously. Never stop learning. Ego thrives on complacency, but growth comes from continuous learning. In conclusion, taming ego for a better future. Managing ego isn't about being perfect. It's about practicing humility, empathy, admitting mistakes, and always learning. This week, remember the mnemonic HEAL and reflect on where your ego might be holding you back. Growth happens one step at a time. I truly hope this video provided you with something meaningful. If it resonated with you, I would be grateful if you could give it a like and share it with someone who could benefit from these insights. I'd also love to hear your thoughts. What's one area in your life where you've noticed ego coming into play? Drop a comment below and let's discuss. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more insights on personal growth and self-improvement. Thanks for watching Motivational Book Insights. Until next time, keep striving for growth and embracing humility on your journey.